This is Joshua Farnsworth. Welcome to my traditional woodworking school. In this video, handplane expert Bill Anderson will show you how to avoid the pitfalls of choosing and buying a vintage metal or wooden plow plane for plowing grooves for historical woodworking.
So here's the next to the last group of planes we're going to talk about. These are plow planes. And plow planes are eminently designed to cut grooves along the length of boards in from the edge. Different widths of grooves, different depths of grooves in from the edge of a board. Typically you see plow planes used to cut the grooves for panels in frame and panel construction, for drawer bottoms, for making drawers or grooves for setting in the back of a cabinet or anything like that. Anywhere where you need to put a panel down inside the long edge of a board like that. I've got a variety of plow planes here. And these represent just a small segment of the different kinds of plow planes you might find on the market. But right here are two wooden planes. They're exactly the same, except one is handled and one does not have a handle. They're both screw-arm planes in that the arm here that's fitted to the fence in each plane, here's the fence right here. This arm right here has got threads on it. And those threads have a pair of nuts that are right here, allow you to lock the body in any position you might care to adjust the cutter. So the cutter here is resting, here's the cutter right here. It's resting on this skate, and remember when we talked about tongue and groove planes, they had a skate as well. So the cutter has a groove in the back that mates with a little V shape on the back of the skate, so it can lock the cutter in place so it can't move side to side. So the position of the cutter relative to the skate is fixed. You can see that there are, if I just set this down like that and pick up some of these cutters here, you can see that there are a variety of cutters available, different widths, and they all have a groove in the back of the iron for registration purposes like that. So typically a plow plane would come with 8 cutters, numbered usually 1 through 8. Might be as wide as 9/16, as narrow as 1/8 of an inch. But typically you only find one iron with the plow plane, and that happens to be the iron in with the plane like that. So we have a fence, screw adjust on the arm here. We have the cutter, and we have a depth stop right here. You can see this depth stop. It's a very large surface here, and that's adjusted up or down by usually a brass screw here. If you watch carefully, you can see the depth stop moving as I adjust this. So I can set the depth of the cut. The width of the cut depends on the iron that I choose, and the distance from the edge of the board or the fence here is set by where I set my 2 opposing nuts. The nice thing about plow planes is that once these nuts are set in a particular position and they're tightened up against each other.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying watching our video so far, and I just want to take a few seconds to let you know about our traditional woodworking store, which you can visit while taking a class or by visiting our website at woodandshop.com/store. You'll find our amazing products to help you grow in traditional hand tool woodworking, including in-person and video woodworking classes, woodworking hand tools and workbenches, woodworking plans, traditional wood finishes, shirts and hats, and cool hand tool woodworking gifts for you or your loved ones. Okay, back to the show.
That fence is never going to move again always going to be square. Now, of course, it's important that when you're adjusting this fence, that you get the fence parallel to the skate. So as the plane moves through the wood, it doesn't bind up in the cut. So I typically will measure this distance from here to here and there to there to verify that I have, in fact, got the fence and the skate parallel to each other. And I'll make sure that this distance here from the fence to the edge of the cutter is the distance I want in from the edge where I want the cutter to be. So those are the important things about looking at that. The most important thing about plow planes when you're looking to buy a plow plane is making sure the threads are in good condition. And so what I often do is pull the threads all the way back, pull the nut all the way back, move the body over as far as it'll go, and just inspect the threads here and see, because most of the wear is going to happen down here where the plane gets most of its work. Most plows most grooves are plowed in the near edge of the board. So down here, if there's any damage, you can see here, this particular thread has been broken off. That's not enough to concern me. But if I had 3 or 4 threads all broken off together right here, when I tried to adjust the plane down in that position, the nut would not grab here. So that would be something that would make me pause in terms of buying a plow plane like this. On the other hand, if the plane's in great condition and it's just a few threads are broken, that's a carving operation. You can glue in slips of wood, carve them out round, and recarve those threads and rehab a plane like this. And depending on your carving skill level, that might be very worthwhile. So the other thing is, during the seasons, these nuts can expand and contract. So it's always a good idea when you're storing the plane to leave the nuts loose, not tightened up. They can be tight. During the wintertime, they can shrink so much that you can't get them away from each other. So I always leave them loose like that so I can be able to adjust the plane any time of the year. This plane, like I said, exactly the same except it doesn't have a cutter. This plane here, you can see this, no threads. This is called a wedge-arm. It's got 2 wedges, one here and one here, that work in slots, and so you can loosen the wedge by pushing it to the narrower part. Up here I'll do the same thing. And then you can adjust the body over to wherever you want, and then push the wedge back when you've got it just right. Clearly this isn't quite as convenient or as accurate as setting the opposing nuts here. For this reason, wedge-arm planes were quite plentiful and cheaper in general than these other planes when they were made, and even now they're cheaper because they're not quite as versatile. They also came with a variety of cutters, et cetera, and are quite useful. So, wooden plow planes. Stanley made a variety of metal plow planes, and this is one of the simpler ones. This is called a number 248. The name in their Stanley catalog is the weather stripping plane, and it was meant to cut grooves on the edge of doors, screen doors or things like that, for holding weather stripping around the edge of the door. But in reality, it's just a plow plane with very short arms here, so it's meant to cut grooves close to the edge of a board, not too far away. And it came with a variety of cutters. You can see a variety of widths of cutters, quite a functional range of widths, from 3/8 here down to 1/8 of an inch, or even a little bit narrower than 1/8 of an inch, I think. So for cutting drawer bottoms, grooves for the back of a cabinet, I find this to be a very, very functional plane. The other advantage of this is nothing on this side. Look at everything on this side of this plane here. So if I'm blocking out molding to do some hand cut molding, I can plow a groove close up to existing design elements in a molding and plow a groove down there and to lay out the rest of the molding without a lot of interference here. So I like this plane for that purpose. It's got a depth stop, and if you look carefully here, and I'll just turn this plane around so you can look, there's a depth stop right there, so I can regulate that I can regulate the position of the fence here relative to the body, and then the cutter is set in by 2 bolts here that screw down and lock this cutter in place, like so. So it's a manual adjust. But like I said, it's got usually came with 7 cutters like that. Stanley made a variety of other planes that were dedicated plows, the number 46, the number 50, a couple other styles as well. And that's not even counting the combination plane, which we'll talk about in just a little while. So quite a versatile little plane, and I use this plane a lot. In fact, I have several of these set for different purposes. So that's in general the plow planes, and we'll cut some grooves with these in just a little while.
If you're interested in learning traditional woodworking, come take a class at our school in Earlysville, Virginia. You can also visit our website at woodandshop.com, where you'll find a bunch of free woodworking lessons, workshop tours, and our very popular tool buying guides. And make sure you subscribe to our free newsletter to get our latest articles and videos. Enjoy!